Congressman, thank you for joining us. You know, a lot of people are going to hear alien UFO, they're going to roll their eyes. So let's tackle it from this. These are some of the nexus that these people, I think it's up to 8 now, with 2 or 3 kind of being maybe a murder-suicide. But I think it's up to 8 that have some sort of connection to specific places, like I believe it's Los Alamos, the lab there. And so, to the very least, these are people who were working in or recently administrators on tech that we're still trying to figure out, whether it's nuclear or dark matter or however you want to look at it, whatever angle you want to take. They had something in common, and now they've mysteriously disappeared or died.
Yeah, it's remarkable that General McCaslin apparently walked out of his home, left all of his devices, and never came back. And Monica Reza, she was on a hike as well and mysteriously disappeared. And I've heard of others. We've already sent a letter. When I first came in, I heard of another gentleman, and I'll keep that name to
sure.
Out of respect. I sent a letter to the FBI investigating the suspicious suicide of another individual who had worked alongside, other whistleblowers like David Grush and Jake Barber who had come forward. So their colleague is mysteriously committed suicide. We've already sent the letter to the FBI to investigate that, and that is an ongoing investigation. So these are other things that we'll probably be reaching out to the FBI to see if they have anything going on this, and if not, then we're going to ask them to do that.
Well, how much of this are you concerned? It could be not the aliens themselves doing this, but somebody who possibly wants to shut people up. That's what I'm concerned about.
That's my concern as well. Look, let's set the alien from another planet topic aside. There's clearly demonstrated technology that is extremely advanced, and I've seen videos. We've had a lot of reports. We've had pilots that have encountered these objects. There is a type of technology that is so cutting edge and advanced, whether it's being held by a foreign entity or a private contractor in the United States. What's clear is that they are doing, there's a lot of work to keep very highly guarded the secret of that technology. And and also probably a lot of work that's being done by our adversaries to try to discover what this technology is. Look, that's what we're looking into. I'm trying to figure out what is going on, what is actually flying in our airspace, what's going over some of our whether it's a military base or some of our missile silos locations. There's a lot of activity that's reported and documented, and it's important that we identify and figure out what's going on. Now, in my effort, what I've made very clear is that if I uncover the fact that we are not alone in this universe, that's not something for any politician, any government to withhold from humanity. That is not top secret, and it shouldn't be top secret. But any kind of advanced technology that keeps us safe is probably something we should guard and protect.
Kind of piggybacking on what you were just saying is, Christopher Mellon, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense Intelligence during Clinton and Bush administrations, told the Post last week that the federal government possesses a jaw-dropping trove of photos and videos. If that's true, what is the impetus in keeping this from the American people? Is it so that there isn't a mass panic? Why would they do that?
I don't know why they've been keeping it a secret for so long. There are a lot of these videos that they're keeping classified have been captured on technology that we don't want our adversaries to know that we have the ability to capture. So in other words, the cameras themselves are highly classified, and because of that, we don't want to release the footage. Now, that doesn't mean that Congress shouldn't be able to see this, which is why I've been, we have a lot of whistleblowers that have come forward. I've been given a list of about 2 to 3 dozen of these files and have submitted an official request to Tulsi Gabbard's office, to the Department of War, to, the Secretary of State and the Department of Energy to be able to see these files. And I've got a contact with other whistleblowers. There's more files to come. So when we've got people on the inside watching to see, based on our request, if these files have been moved, if they are deleted or changed in any way, to avoid that. So we're on the trail, and hopefully Congress can be able to at least get our eyes on these videos and give some insights to the American people.
Congressman Eric Burlison, thank you for joining us. Thank you for bringing some answers. I hope you all do find some answers and make them public.